to your first art class of the year. For you guys, this won't be any different because you had art with me last year in 5th grade and in 2nd through 4th grade as well. Just like last year, I don't give grades for what's going on in here. I'm hoping that you just enjoy and attempt to do what we have coming up for this year. I'm trying to get you guys a sketchbook like the one I've got in front of me, and we will do weekly sketches in there. I'm asking that at least that you should have a pencil every time we have art class, but there may be some weeks where I'll say, hey, make sure next week you got some colored pencils, or make sure you got a straight edge or something like that, so that we can do our drawings from there. As we do our drawings, remember, since I don't give grades for this, it's just for enjoyment, okay? Now there may be a time, Mr. Kinnersley, in fact, for our first drawing, we're going to do a project with Mr. Kinnersley's class. So again, I don't think he's given points for your portion of the drawing. I think he just wants you to have a nice experience with working with pastels, which is what we're going to do. But there could be some time where we're working with a teacher. Maybe Mrs. E wants me to tie in something with her class, especially when we start to get back to school coming into my art room. She may give you a few points for the art portion of an assignment that she's doing, all right? But for now, don't stress out about it. We're just going to have some fun. We're going to learn a little bit about art, push you out of your comfort zone a little bit. And whether you're good at art or not, attempting to do these things helps with your regular life, in your regular classes, and in things you do at home. Just trying to be creative and challenged is gonna be beneficial for you, okay? So just give it your best shot. So we're gonna do our first sketch. Like I said, we were working with Mr. Kinnersley. So for you guys at home, I'm going to show what he is expecting. Hopefully maybe he has sent some things as well. And for you guys in class, you should have come to class with a drawing of the outer part of your hand. So, I'll just do a quick tracing here. And I'm going to put the line on so that we can go from there. So I'm going to get a quick tracing of my hand, a little bit of the wrist. All right. And let's get that to show up. There we go. And then I believe we're focusing on something important right here, something about you, okay? I might put a soccer ball because I'm the soccer coach. Actually, in the drawing that I've done that you're going to see in a minute, I put a paint palette, so the thing I hold when I'm doing all my murals and things that you've seen, and then some nice designs in there. When we start working with the designs, especially in the fingers, don't go too crazy with them. Because we are working with pastels, it's a little tougher to get some of those details, but I'm going to show you how we can get around some of those things. Okay, so here's the one that I've started to create, and you can see that I've started to color as well. Let me give that thing a quick focus. So I've got my paint palette. I even did little paintbrush heads on there, and then I tried to go with a simple pattern. All right, so with our current times, I have come up with some baggies for pastels. If you guys are at home trying to do this and you have some access to pastels, that would be great. I'm going to not be able to distribute very many colors, but I'm going to try to get about 3 or 4 colors per student and try to get you what you want the best that I can. Okay, so the colors that I have selected here, I've got some purple, green, some yellow, and a red. I also have a paper towel. That's going to come in handy for several things. With the pastels, they don't need to get all over your hand, all right? You're only getting a little chunk, which is plenty for what we're trying to do here. And really just holding it, maybe these 3 fingers are going to get kind of messy. I also have a scrap piece of paper here. You can see I've got some color on there as well. I think one of the biggest things is when you start working, you're looking for an edge on some things. That might be fine. Sometimes you're just looking to fill in a space. So the roundedness part, you've kind of got it's not just using the end of the pastel. There's all different ways of using every side pretty much. So I've got a little bit of a straight edge here. So I was going in with my orangish red color here, and I'm just trying to fill that in to the best of my ability. You don't have to push super hard. All right, you're going to get that thick, solid color. you can accomplish quite a bit just kind of lightly going over, and they almost look about the same. You can obviously see I pushed a little bit harder on that one. But I'm just going to go in and kind of blend that out. Now, it's going to get dusty, all right? That's what pastels do. You're kind of wearing away at the color. You don't want to take your hand and brush that off. Let's see if I can do it here. If I brush that off, I'm going to get those smudge marks like that, and we don't want that to happen all over your picture. So you want to be careful with that. Sometimes what I'll do is I might take it off to the side a little bit and dump it off to the side just so some of that just kind of falls to the ground. But we really don't want to make a big mess when we're working with this. Nice part about the paper towel too is I can use it as a cover sheet. So if I'm working, let's say up here, but I've already done something here, I can cover this up, and then I can go in and add my color, from there, and that way I'm not smearing it all over. I don't want to move this to the side. I just kind of want to pick it up so that it still kind of keeps the color intact. I can also take probably a little bit bigger piece. Take a little bit of the paper towel, okay? Get my picture back here. There we go. Take a little bit of the paper towel, and I can kind of wad it up a little bit. I'm rolling it, and I'm kind of getting it to a point where maybe it's got a little bit of an end to it, and if I want, I can kind of use that to help blend. Again, when you blend, it's going to get dusty, okay? So, again, you don't want to knock that off with your hand, or it will end up making a mess. But you can see here that I can kind of lighten up colors, kind of get them to fade out from there, and I can kind of smooth that out without actually using my finger, because then your finger sometimes is a little too big for some of these detailed areas. Now what's also nice is I can blend some colors, all right? So it might be that, let me knock some of this off here. You can see right there, I made my color just knocking it off. So it's a messy process, and but you can get some nice quality work out of working with pastels. So I can go in over the top with colors. So if I wanted to lighten this up with some yellow, I can go right in there. I can go back with the red. I can kind of get those to blend. I kind of like the little fire feeling it's getting to it. All right. So I can get those to blend. So you can actually make, with the colors you have, you can actually make some different colors as well. All right. Probably not going to give you a black. That gets really dark. I want something nice and colorful in there. And I'm just going to work my way around. And don't be afraid to go back and forth between the colors. Like I said, it's going to get dusty. I know we're going to have some masks on when we're working with this. Blowing on it like that, you take a chance of it going all over the place. We don't want to do that, especially in our situation that we're in right now in the classroom. We're not trying to move air around, so I would keep the mask on. That's actually probably going to help you breathe a little bit better. You're not inhaling all that dust. But I would work on maybe just trying to knock it off, off the edge of your desk. It might leave a little bit of a streak, but I think you'll still get what you want. So I could go in, maybe my palette here, I wanted to go a little bit lighter, and so I go with some yellow in the palette. You can see some of my pencil lines coming up through there. That's another nice thing about going a little bit light in the beginning. And then let's say that I want it to overlap, and so then I'm going to just go right over the top with my darker colors. And sometimes that's a good way of getting colors right next to each other without trying to leave like spaces. All right? So when you are done with your pastels, they're yours to keep. You can use them on other things. Sometimes what's going to happen, especially when I work in my sketchbook here, my other side is going to get full of the pastels. That's okay. That's part of the process. That happens all the time. Not a big deal. All right? So enjoy the colors. Like I said, try to make other colors from what you've got, and you'll have more than the 3 or 4 that I give you if you can blend them together. And then always think about, can I overlap can I put a lighter color down and then go over it with a darker color to get those to kind of work out. And don't be afraid to wad up the paper towel every now and then and help you get some of the shading down so that it blends very nicely. All right? Guys, at the end of this video, you can subscribe and follow me on YouTube. I have an Limestone Instagram account that I'm starting that will feature the artwork that we're working on. I'm going to try to take pictures and put those on there daily. I'll also have my email address on there, so for you guys at home or even you guys that are watching this again that were in the classroom, you can email me questions if you want. Remember, don't stress out about trying to get this done. You have some other things to work on, but this is just a nice break from what you're working on. And if you've got this in your classes and you get bored, you can pull it out and start working with whatever sketch we're on for that week. Okay? So look for me on those social media things. And then, like I said, if you got questions, email me. If you're at home and you've done some nice work and you want to send me a picture, send those pictures through my email, and I will put together a slideshow like I did in the spring of the work that we're doing here or that we're trying to do here at Limestone. Okay? Guys, enjoy the rest of your week. Ooh, the dust is making me a little bit hoarse here. Enjoy the rest of your week and have a great day.